And hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. This is going to be a nice special episode today on the Jane Phillips Football Chats. And as you can see, I have some special guests. So Connor from the Cobb Council, Steve from Statman State Football Channel, John from Johnson Co TV. How are you guys?
Good, mate, you?
Not too bad, not too
Really
bad.
fantastic.
Pretty decent.
Doing good. Connor's slightly decent.
To be fair, I say pretty decent. It's been a pretty good week for Liverpool, so I'm kind of happy.
Certainly has.
Certainly has, yeah.
All good
Certainly
moods,
has.
all good moods, all good mood, guys. So this is basically what we'll be talking about today. So we're going to be talking about the top four race first of all. So top four race, I've not put Wolves in this because I think they've just, lost a few too many points of recent times. So I'm putting Man United, Arsenal, Spurs, and West Ham in this top four race, guys. So starting with you, Connor, top four. Who do you think is favourite at this moment in time?
I'd say, looking at squads, probably United. Unfortunately, hello Tom as well. I would sadly say United. I don't want to say United because absolutely despise the living daylight out of them. But I think looking at the squad, the amount of quality they do have in there. Of course, Ronaldo, Varane as well, plenty of experience. High level experience as well with Champions League football and so on. So I think they are the favourites. But I think West Ham for me as well are a massive underdog and a dark horse in this. I don't think many of them expected to keep the levels that they have done this season. And for me, they've turned into what Leicester were hoping to become in terms of, keeping at that level, trying to interrupt who, we normally think of the top six as well. So, but yeah, I'd say United at the minute.
Yeah. John, yourself, my man?
Good evening to you guys. I hope you're okay. Looking at it, I think it's going to be between Man City and Liverpool, obviously, but the game of the year is going to be very, very important. Who wins that game probably win the league. Chelsea, they're not playing that great, but in third at the moment in time. It's going to be tough. I still think Man U just hold on, but it all depends how they do it. The Emirates soon for your match, their match between Arsenal and Man U. That's going to be who decides to get this top four. I think West Ham will fall to away, but they're not giving up. And Spurs, you don't know which Spurs is going to turn up under Conte. So, look, I think the top four is going to be tough. I mean, that fourth spot's going to be tough. Excuse me. I still got a feeling that because I like Macy, and I think United will get there. I think Arsenal's got some real tough games coming up soon. They got to play Liverpool at home. They got to play Chelsea away. They got to play Spurs away. And that's going to make them. I think Arteta's done a fantastic job there now. He's getting it right. But for that fourth spot, I hope it be, as a Newcastle fan, I think it'll be Man United. But only just.
Yeah, Man United is the one everyone. I think they're the bookies' favourite as well, and your guys' favourite as well. Steve, what do you reckon, my man?
It's difficult to say. No one really wants to do that. I mean, John's second team, Manchester United, will probably.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, I don't. Nah.
Yeah, we all know.
I'd rather support Macy.
I know, mate. I mean, it's a difficult one to say though, because I mean, yes, Manchester United are in fourth at the minute, but teams have got games in hand. But would you rather have the points on board, or would you rather have the games in hand? Because you're not guaranteed to win them games in hand. And like the lads have said, Arsenal got a tough run of games. They've got obviously us at home, Chelsea, Spurs. You don't know what sort of, like lads have said as well, you don't know what sort of Spurs you're going to get that can go away to the Etihad, the Etihad, and obviously win 3-2, but then lose to Burnley and Middlesbrough. So yeah, it's up for grabs. It's a bit like last season when no one really wanted it, and then we put a run of 10, 11 games together and finished third. Obviously the top three is sort of sewn up for me. It's obviously Man City and Liverpool, who will get first or second, Chelsea third. And I think at the minute, I think just on experience alone, I think it unfortunately will be Manchester United, unfortunately.
Yes, unfortunately. But if we can get this up now, can you see that, guys? I'll make it a bit bigger if you can't see it. So that's the fixtures Man United have got coming up right now. So obviously they got the big one on Sunday, the Manchester derby, and in recent times, Man United don't had a bad record against Man City in the derby recently. No. Then they got what game against Tottenham. Then they got Atletico Madrid midweek. The Liverpool game postponed. Then they got Leicester, Everton, Norwich, and Arsenal. So seeing them fixtures there, Connor, would you still have them possibly as your favourites to finish fourth?
I'd say yes, because for me, I think like the only people I see stopping United getting top four is West Ham. I don't think, as the lads have said, don't think Spurs are going to be anywhere near it because they're going to just be classic Spurs. And for me, I don't think Arsenal are good enough. I don't think they have a striker. And you need goals to win games. Classic Michael Owen. But for me, it's that experience level. I think United have plenty of experience in that squad to get them over the line. And you look at those games, hopefully, we all hope that they can take points off City on Sunday. And then, it's crucial games like, against Spurs and, against Arsenal as well. If they win both of them, then yeah, they're definitely in there. But I think out of them all, it's them and West Ham for me. Don't think Arsenal and Spurs are anywhere near going to be there, in my opinion.
Steve, I come to you. Seen them fixtures there, fella? What do you have you changed your mind at all? Do you think they're still favourites for that fourth plot?
Yeah, I mean they've got it.
Chris?
They've won the last two at the Etihad as well, haven't they? So Manchester United. So I fancy them to get something. I'm not just saying that because obviously I want Man City to drop points. Obviously, of course I do, but I just think that they'll get at least a point. But I've backed them to win 2-1 on Sunday, and I just fancy them that they'll be a bit worried that look at what Chelsea done in the obviously in the Champions League final. The pace seemed to be the only answer against Man City, and they exploited that in behind the defence. And I think Manchester United have got pace with Sancho, Rashford, players like that who can hurt you. So I still think the majority of them, Manchester United, the teams that they're due to play in and around them, and majority of the games are at home, which will probably help them as well. Obviously, Everton should be an easy 3 points for Manchester United. Arsenal as well, not on great form either. Very, very weak team, and with lack of threat and Eddie and Nketiah up front, I don't see them posing any sort of threats. I mean, if you look at the games now, they've got Leicester at home, they've got Tottenham at home. Obviously, I fancy them to get something against Man City. I fancy them to beat Everton, and I fancy them to beat Arsenal. So it's the teams. If you look at the result against Watford, it's the teams that they're expected to obviously win quite convincingly that they seem to struggle. So I still see them being favourites because I just don't see the other teams winning them games in hand.
So just a good point there, Steve, being fair. John, so out of them fixtures there you can see on the screen now, how many points do you think United will get out of them games there? And what games do you think will be a bit of a banana skin for them?
Right, I'll go one by one, starting at the Etihad. I just think they're going to get something like that game because they've got a good record at the Etihad, so it's going to be tough. But I think you can get. I've got a funny feeling you get a point there. I really do. 2 each there. I think Man U will score 2, and they can actually stop them winning the title. And then you got the Man U Tottenham. That's going to be tough as well. And Spurs did beat Man City, by the way. And I've got a sneaky feeling that Spurs will probably beat them again. I hate to say it. And I could be wrong on that one. Man Atletico Madrid, that's going to be real tough. And I think they just go for that one just. Liverpool, Man U, I think Liverpool will be a bit too strong for them. Man United, Leicester, now they got Vardy back. I think they just win that game. Just Everton, United. I think they'll beat Everton away. I think Everton have been poor. They're in big trouble. I think do us a favour as well. And they got Norwich at home. I expect them to beat Norwich. Also, Man U. That's going to be anyone's game. I think that'll be a draw. Man United against Brentford. I think they'll beat Brentford and they'll beat Brighton away from home. So the three key games for us is Man U Brentford, Man U Norwich, and Man U at Everton. That's the three key games for us at the moment in time. I think if they can beat them and Newcastle's above those three, we'll be fine. So
Yeah.
I think United will just do it. After they just do it, looking at those fixtures there.
Yeah, I think you could be right there. I mean, we've got to have to talk about Arsenal. Everyone's favourite club.
Chris's favourite club as well.
Chris's favourite club. So let's take that one off. So let's talk about Arsenal, because this is Arsenal are the club that, you know, they have one good win and all of a sudden they're the best team in Europe again. And you know, with Arsenal, I don't know about you, Connor, but with Arsenal, I just don't. They beat the teams they're meant to beat, but they lose to the teams they're meant to lose to. And with Arsenal, the way their fans are, their fan base at this moment in time, you know, apparently they should be in a title charge next season. How do you believe it or not? This is what they say.
No,
How do you see them finishing off this season, Connor?
I've led the majority of their squad out of contract in the summer. I can't wait for the rebuild. But I can't. For me, I just don't get in January why they thought it was a brilliant idea to let go of Aubameyang and not replace him.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If you don't like him and, you know, all the things that were spoken about and so on, I get, you know, like we've all had it at Liverpool, we've all had it at our own clubs. But to not replace him and not replace his goals for me is the massive disappointment, because look, Arsenal defensively is sound. Like, they're not, you know, they're not world beaters. They're not, you know, going to leak in goals here, there, and everywhere. But they are decent, you know, since Ramsdale, Ben White have come in and so on. But again, it's the goals. I think they've scored, 38 goals or 36 goals this season, you know, in the league. It's not good enough for a team like Arsenal. And I think that will cost them. I think it'll massively cost them. Nketiah is not ready to make that step up. Lacazette is garbage. Not gonna lie. And look, their most deadly, you know, threat, you want to say, is Martinelli and Saka. And as we saw, you know, as Liverpool in the cup, look how easy that was. You know, mark them out of the game. Arsenal have absolutely nothing. And again, that's a thing for all the league to see. Whether or not Arteta can make something happen, who knows? You know, that'll be a question for him tactically. But I think just on the face of it, I think that, you know, I know we haven't really mentioned Wolves, but I think Wolves could even finish above Arsenal this season.
Yeah, I agree. Steve, so like Colin was saying, Arsenal's lack of goals this season. It's surprising how high they are up in the league, actually, with the amount of goals they have scored this season. So, Steve, where do you see Arsenal finishing this season?
Well, certainly not in the top four. I think they'll definitely get Europe this season. Obviously, they missed out completely last season on Europe altogether, but I think they'll probably end up finishing sixth for me and get into the Europa League. I think obviously Man U will finish fourth, and I think it'll probably be West Ham will finish fifth, and then obviously Arsenal just below in sixth for me.
So yeah, I totally agree with you. So John, Steve's saying finishing sixth there. Arsenal are playing once a week. They've got no Europe this season. They're out of all the cups domestically already. They can't win anything. Have Arsenal actually improved this season, or are the teams around them just worse?
Well, Arsenal have had a good start, haven't they, this season? Let's put it that way. But I think Mikel Arteta's doing a good job there. He really has. He's trying to get the players with bad reputation out of the club and put the players that you can trust, in my opinion. Yeah. And you look at the players they got. They got Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli. Those three young players are coming through absolutely well. Partey is putting it together now. He's doing okay. And if you look at the back four, Ben White needs another season to shine. I think Gabriel's a better defender than Ben White, let's be real. But I think personally, I mean, Arsenal need to start winning more games if they can. They got some tough games coming up, you know. Like I said earlier, they got to play Man U, they got to play Liverpool, they got to play away to Chelsea. They haven't got a good record against Chelsea, by the way. Chelsea always needs to beat them all the time. They got to come to us as well yet. We can actually stop them from getting the top four. But me personally, I stick by Man U getting the top four. Yeah. And the reason why, because I think Ronaldo will step up. I mean, he has had a great season, I can't lie, but he will step up. I'm sure Bruno Fernandes will step up. I think Elanga is coming to his own. I definitely join Rashford. And if you look at it, I mean, Harry Maguire got dropped on Saturday, apparently, and and they drew nils each. But I think West Ham are winning games. Man U's been winning games, but they didn't win on Saturday. And Arsenal got tough games. So for me, personally, I say Man U get top four. For Arsenal, probably get fifth or sixth.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's have a look at these Arsenal fixtures coming up, because they say they've got some hard games coming up. So they've had two decent results of late. Obviously, games, as we said, they should win. Being Brentford. I mean, the Wolves game, you know, they got a 95th minute winner and they acted like they won the Champions League. I mean, it was, you know, I think that's a bit how far they've fallen. But, you know, they're away to Watford on the weekend. You expect them to win that. But then they got home games to Leicester. They're at home to Liverpool. Away to Villa will be tricky. Away to Palace is difficult. You know, you never know what Brighton team you're going to get. Southampton away, I think at the moment it's a hard game. I think Southampton have, you know, they're one of them teams I don't think people take much notice of at the job Hasselhüttl's doing over there, but he's doing a fantastic job with Southampton. Then obviously they've got the Man United game on the 23rd of April. So Connor, looking at their fixtures there, does that, you know, prove that they can't get fourth place?
They could get top four. Look, strange things happen. Should Liverpool got top four last year? Absolutely not. But I'll absolutely run away with it this season. But again, I look at those and it's like the Liverpool game, they'll lose. Southampton, it's a very difficult place to go. Arsenal, Man United as well. And it's the thing, and the problem is with Arsenal is like we said earlier, they normally win the games they should, but I just expect them to lose games now that they will do it. And I think, you know, going back to the earlier question, you know, I think, you know, they should be doing a bit better because they're not in anything. You know, look, I know they were in the League Cup and so on, but they've had no European football. They haven't had to play twice a week compared to, you know, West Ham, Man United have, you know, with the Europa League and Champions League. And I think, you know, Arteta's been a little bit lucky in some way that the attention hasn't really been brought upon him. Look, he's going to need a rebuild in the summer, like we spoke about. And, you know, if he gets European football as well, which I think Arsenal will, depending on, you know, Europa League or Conference League, you know, it's going to be a question mark next season as well. You know, because these Arsenal fans, we've seen, you know, all on social media, you know, the reactions and so on, how they react to, you know, if they were around this, you know, this time next year and European football, you know, how could they, you know, survive with that? Because there's going to be a huge investment needed in the summer. I just don't think Arsenal are going to do it. So I think this time next year we'll be speaking about the same thing.
No, I totally agree. As you say, investment is massive at Arsenal, and you know, you look at the teams above them at the moment. I think they're investing better than Arsenal are, and they have better squads at this moment in time. So you do think Arsenal are going to be it's going to take them a long time to get back to where they think they belong. Steve, looking at them fixtures there, mate.
Mm-hmm.
How many points do you think Arsenal possibly get? Because I think the Arsenal Watford game, as silly as this sounds, I don't think is as an easy Arsenal win for me.
I think they'll win comfortably. I think I've won for 2 or 3-0 in that game. I've gone for them to get 3 points against Watford. I think they'll probably draw against Leicester. They'll get beat comfortably off Liverpool. They'll struggle against Villa, but potentially may get a point there. Lose to Palace. Brighton, they'll probably win that one. Lose to Southampton. They'll lose to Manchester United. They've got a good record against West Ham, so I think they'll get something out of that one. Should beat Leeds. Newcastle, obviously resurgent at the moment, haven't lost in 2022 in the Premier League. It's going to be difficult. Obviously, last home game for Newcastle for the season. They'll be comfortable, and I expect Newcastle to give them a good game. And then what a game that is. Last game of the season, Arsenal potentially could send Everton down. Everton haven't got a great record at the Emirates either, so I fancy Arsenal to get the 3 points there. So what's that? I mean, you've got 3 against Everton. I think they'll lose at St James's. In all honesty, they'll win against Leeds. They'll win against West Ham. Lose against Man United. They'll lose against Southampton. Win against Brighton. Crystal Palace, they'll lose. Villa, they'll draw. Lose against us. Draw against Leicester, and win against Watford. So,
yeah, that's not great from Steve. Looking at Arsenal's possible points there, that's Arsenal in banging trouble. John, so you hear what Steve said there. He doesn't fancy Arsenal picking up too many points from their remaining fixtures. So, John, what do you think?
I should have got Chelsea. I thought I got Chelsea away. I know they played in the home. They got Chelsea away. I'll surely have.
Let's have a look. I think that's all the fixtures. Yeah, that's all the fixtures.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, must have missed it then.
12 games. Yeah, 12 games. Yeah,
12 games left. Okay, fair enough. I must be thinking then. Excuse me. I think they beat Watford comfortable 2-0. I think they probably get a draw against Leicester. They're going to get big comfortable with Liverpool, I'm afraid. Probably 2-0. They don't seem to do well at Villa. The last 2 games they got beat, and they'd be lucky to get a point there. Palace against Arsenal, Palace give it a right go. They make it tough for Arsenal, I'm sure. Also, Brighton, they should beat Brighton. Southampton's doing really well this season, and Hutton Hussle, even though I don't like the way he's talked about Newcastle, trying to say, look, don't play new players. We got them on Thursday. That's going to be tough at this moment. Also, Man U, that's going to be a tough game. Very tough game. But even also do beat United. Don't really say they'll be in the top 4 because they got to play West Ham away. That's going to be tough. Also should beat Leeds. Then I think this is going to be our time to beat Arsenal. Finally, beat Arsenal. Last home game of the season. Let's hope that was safe by the time we play them, because we've got to play. We've got Norwich away. Man, I think we've got Norwich away. Newcastle away to Man City. Home to Arsenal. And I think it's home to Liverpool as well. So the last 4 games is tough for Newcastle coming to, I'm sure. And then after that, Arsenal could actually send Everton down if it came to it. And if Everton's bottom 3 and Arsenal play Everton, I think Everton's time in the Premier League is going to be done, because if you look at Everton's fixture list, it's tough. Very, very tough. But back to Arsenal, I think they win some games, but I think Man U will do it.
Yeah, I do agree with the panel there. Chris, I think top 4 is done. Manchester United comfortably finished 4th. For me, West Ham's not enough squad depth and will focus on winning Europa League. It's a good point by Chris, because, West Ham, they have got Europa League coming back, and, I think they got Sevilla. Is it Sevilla?
Which will be tough.
It's going to be a tough game, but this West Ham team, they've been good all season. They're capable of causing an upset there. And with West Ham, let's have a talk about them next, guys, because West Ham. I've said this in one of my other videos lately. If Jurgen Klopp or Pep wins the league this season, they're obviously get manager of the year. But David Moyes has done a heck of a job with this West Ham team. And if I could vote, I might vote him for manager of the year. I don't know about you guys. I think he's done a tremendous job. There's still West Ham fans out there who don't really like him. I don't know why. I don't know what the problem is. But West Ham, they're my surprise of the season. Connor, what do you think of West Ham's season so far?
I think they've been brilliant. Again, David Moyes has taken that team, and like I said earlier, being in that conversation for top four. And they've done what Leicester should have been doing this season in pushing the likes of United, Spurs, and Arsenal for top four in European football. I like to see it. I like teams that's normally mid-table or lower, mid-table, be a part of the conversation for top four. They've done brilliant in the Europa League to be where they are, and if they were to get through against Sevilla, that would be brilliant, because Sevilla are known for winning the Europa League.
Yeah.
And for me, just the improvement of players. You look at Gerard Bowen, for example. 8 goals, 8 assists so far this season in the league, which is outstanding. Mikel Antonio, the first 2 months of the season, he was one of the best strikers, not only in the Premier League, in world football at one stage. So it's just the improvement of individual players and just the level of just of what the West Ham team itself. I remember last season at the beginning where West Ham lost to, I think it was Newcastle at home, and they looked awful. They looked absolutely awful. I was like, this could be, the downfall for West Ham. But since then, they've been unbelievable. And I would love them to get top four. Don't get me wrong. But, if they was to go on that Europa League push, that would get them Champions League football. So it's, what they do is like, how do they weigh that up?
Totally. Yeah, it's that European game. That's going to be. So they haven't got the squad to play both, so they got to sort of pick and choose now, especially where they are in this season. So John Moore, West Ham, no surprise to me. Jamie, back them at the start of the season to finish 4th. And if you know John, he's he's put. I think he's put like 20 quid on Liverpool winning a quadruple, 88-1. So he told me at the beginning of the season as well that Chelsea would be nowhere near the title, and he had them finishing 4th. So he might be a bit of a mystic meg, old John.
Yeah. I do.
So, as Conor was saying there about Leicester and West Ham seem to have sort of swapped places this season. What do you think of the job Moisey has done there at West Ham?
Oh, he's done fantastic. I mean, obviously, like Connor said, they haven't brought many. Obviously, didn't bring anyone in January. The squad isn't the biggest, but no, you've got to give credit where credit's due. I think obviously, if Liverpool and Man City were nowhere near the title, I think if the season was to finish now, obviously if Eddie Howe had been in from the start of the season and kept Newcastle up as they're going to stay up this season, he would definitely be up there. But I think, in all honesty, the managers for the season for me right now would be Hasenhüttl for me, closely followed by Moyes. I think Hasenhüttl's done a fantastic job with. I mean, Southampton aren't expected to normally even get in the top half of the table. So for him to do the job that he's doing, I think it's credit to them, and it's nice to see anyway. Obviously, no disrespect to Southampton and West Ham, they're not exactly classed as massive clubs. They are still big clubs, but they're not massive clubs like the likes of Liverpool and Man City and Chelsea and etc. But if the season was to finish now, and obviously it wasn't if Liverpool and Man City weren't doing as well as they are, then Hasenhüttl and Moyes would definitely be up there for manager of the season for me.
Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to. Here we go. £30 for Liverpool to win all 4, and £50 on top 4: Liverpool, City, Chelsea, West Ham in that order. Jesus, John.
Wow.
Jesus, John. if he's onto that, we're going to have to go to John for more bets in the future.
Exactly, yeah.
Exactly.
So,
John, definitely.
John, so you're seeing West Ham fighting Champions League football this season, playing some good stuff at times, not going away.
Mm-hmm.
You see the size of the club they are. I'm going to say this to you now, and the size of the club you are as a Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
The money you've got. Do you see Newcastle maybe doing a West Ham next season?
It depends who you buy and what position we need. We definitely need 2 strikers because Chris will ain't the answer for Newcastle United. Definitely not. Hasn't scored yet. Getting Newcastle fans coming here saying, "Oh, he's done a good job, blah blah." He did okay last Saturday, but listen, he hasn't scored yet, and he needs to start scoring goals because 25 million, we spent 25 million on the lad, and it seems to me that we got conned. But we needed a striker in, and he's still unavailable, so we had to get him in for plenty of experience. But looking at it, we're defending better. Our midfield is good. Even Bruno Fernandes just can't get in the team. He just can't get in the team with our sort of thing. But I think if we get 2 strikers in, we need another left back. No disrespect to Target. I think it could be back to Villa. But if he does well, I think you should sign him up. Kieran Trippier, absolutely fantastic. We do need a back and right back. But what we need is we need a world-class goalkeeper. That's what we need in the summer. A world-class keeper. No disrespect to Mondo Baka. I love him. But he's getting injury prone. The guy's 33. He's injury prone. That's what we need. And a lot of people have not been mentioning this. We need a goalkeeper that is going to win us big games, big moments. And that's what we need. So goalkeeper, 2 strikers, a left back. We're okay in midfield. Oh, and by the way, we definitely need a winger to keep ASM on his toes because he needs to be challenged. Because if he doesn't deliver, someone else can come in and do a fantastic job. So hopefully we win a trophy next season, and that's what I want.
I love that enthusiasm from John there. That's great. That's great. Look, we all, I speak to myself as well. I've got a lot of time for Newcastle. Geordies, their selves, I think they're great, and I hope Newcastle the most success. Obviously, if it, not too close to Liverpool, just stay back a little bit. But everything else, it's absolutely fine. The reason Jack's in the house. Hi, Jack. Jack, if you want to come in, mate, I can throw you the link, fella. Just let me know. The reason I asked the Newcastle question to John about seeing where West Ham are this season is take the top 3. Take away the top 3. A lot of these teams are either pretty average or rebuilding, and I don't see much difference going into next season, guys. So that's why I'm asking, who do you see, okay, you, Connor, chasing European spots next season? Because of the fact that you look at the Arsenals, they're rebuilding still. United have been rebuilding since Alex Ferguson left. They've still not got it right. Newcastle got money now. They're going to be fighting for European places for me next season. And Leicester, you don't know what's going to happen with them at this moment in time. So, Connor, what do you think, my man?
I'd love to say Newcastle. I'm also in agreement. It's like as long as you can stay away from the top for quite a long time, I'm happy about that. But no, I'd like Newcastle to be up there, especially after everything that's happened over the last few years. But for me, a weird one for some reason. I got Villa. I think the rebuild under Gerrard, and this massively depends on whether or not they actually get proper players in and get it right. I think the way the style that Stevie has already put on Aston Villa, it's already better one that was already there. And look, I'm hoping he can do that, but I also think about Leicester as well. Of course, their team is going to go under a rebuild. Whether or not that is under Brendan Rodgers is another conversation for another time. But it's a very difficult question because I think under a summer window, a lot can change. and a lot can happen as well. We've spoken about Arsenal and so on. Arsenal could completely drop off next season, with the lack of signings we've gone on about. And you just look at the teams, Wolves as well, if they build on what they've had as well. There's plenty of teams that could jump up from there, but like you say, mate, the top three will stay the top three, and then it's no man's land then from 4th to about 10th. I think.
Yeah, I agree. And Jack is in the house. How you
Jack.
doing?
How you doing, gents?
Jack.
Thank you.
Right.
Sorry,
Good, Jack.
What do you call this?
sorry, boys. West Ham fan channel. It's all right, Jay. You can slap my ass later. But yeah, thank you very much for having me on, mate. It's great to speak to John for the first time. Been watching
Big
a
up
lot
to
of
you, Jack.
content. Yeah,
Thanks very much. That's what I did was Gary Bungle about the way. What a mullet.
thank you very much, mate. Yeah, no, cheers, mate, Jay, for having me on. I'll be
You're welcome,
anyway.
Jack. You're welcome, mate. So we've been talking top 4 race to start this show off at the moment, and most of us are a thing that we think United will unfortunately get 4th place this season. Your opinion on the clubs? We've spoke about Arsenal so far. I've spoken about West Ham and United. We're going to talk about Tottenham in a minute. But what do you think them 3 teams will finish this season?
My head's saying United, but I think as all of you have already alluded to, Spurs are Spursy. The inconsistent levels of performances. You've got a great manager in Conte, but he won't even last a couple of weeks. He has a meltdown after bloody every defeat he has. But yeah, Arsenal. It's Arsenal. If it was the Arsenal of old that we all grew up watching, with the Patrick Vieira's, the Henrys of the world, but they're a bloody million miles away. It's United. It's going to be United, sadly, for all of us. But yeah, I'd go with Manchester United finishing top 4. Definitely not Leicester, because the fact that all of us as neutral fans were watching Leicester the last few years, we said they'll battle it, and like they've spent the most time in the top 4, haven't they, over the last 2 years, but still bloody haven't got Champions League football to show.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy, but. There's one team we haven't spoke about yet, and we're going to have to talk about them because they're the most up and down team in this league, and that's Tottenham Hotspur. Let's get to their fixtures. And this team is just, the word Spursy was really meant for them, no matter.
Yeah.
So there's their fixtures there. Obviously, the game they've got on Monday is huge.
Yeah.
And Tom, well, he might be licking his lips at this game because you don't know what Tottenham you're going to get, do you? So Tottenham, Everton, they got it's Man United, then Brighton away is not easy. West Ham at home, then Newcastle at home, Villa away, Brighton again, Brentford, Leicester, then the Pool, and then Burnley, and then finish off with Norwich. So, Connor, looking at them fixtures there for Spurs, as I said, we don't know what Spurs we're ever going to get from one week to the next. What's your take, my man?
I don't even think I can predict who wins or loses because Spurs could literally win like 3 on the bounce and then lose like the rest of them. Yeah, they are a shambles, aren't they? Really. It wouldn't surprise me if Antonio Conte wasn't at Spurs at the start of next season. But yeah, that Everton game, I think they'll beat the United. Don't see them doing anything against them. Brighton as well. I also think they'll beat them. And then West Ham. I think West Ham have actually had a good. I think they drew
3-3 won it last season.
Yeah. Newcastle, maybe. Newcastle might get a few points from there. Villa, be tough to get points from there. Brighton again. They've got Brighton twice. Oh, it's because it was postponed.
Yeah, they got them twice quite quickly.
Yeah. Again, could be a win or loss. Brentford, they should beat. Leicester, who knows? Liverpool, they'll get battered. Burnley, again, Burnley could beat them. And then Norwich on the last day, I don't see Norwich beating anyone, even if they are called Spurs. So it's going to be around. I think we spoke about Wolves, Conference League level again for Spurs. I think maybe Conte would want Spurs not to be in Europe, similar like the Arsenal conversation. So I think Spurs they'll finish outside Europe.
Fair enough. Steve, same to you, my man. What's your take on this remaining lot of fixtures for Tottenham and where they'll finish?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at them, there's some difficult run of fixtures. I mean, obviously, I expect them to beat Everton. No disrespect to Tom. I too obviously expect them to win at home against Everton. But then you look at Man United away. I don't think. Yes, they won 6-1 or 6-2. Was that last season? That was the same season where he got beat 7-2 off Villa on it. Same day, wasn't it?
Same day.
So yeah. They'll not do that again. Brighton are a better team away from home than they are at home. But then again, they've beaten Tottenham the last 2 seasons at the Amex, so that'll not be an easy game for Tottenham. West Ham as well. Newcastle, not an easy game. Some of them games, the teams in and around them, I just struggle to see where they're going to pick up points. Yes, they'll pick up points against Everton, but other than that, obviously Brentford away, you'd expect them to win them. Maybe Burnley at home, they should beat them, and Norwich away. But yeah, other than that, maybe pick up a couple of points between now and the end of the season. They've got a favourable run in, obviously, other than Liverpool there. So yeah, maybe they may win 3 out of the last 4 games, but the other games around them, I do honestly see them struggling and maybe just getting 1 or 2 points out of them. 6 games, maybe. I do see them struggling.
No, I agree. And John, looking at them fixtures there, as we know, we don't know what Tottenham turns up, as we've all said. We have no idea what it could be the Tottenham team that played Man City, or it could be the Tottenham team that played Burnley. You just don't know what Spurs team you're going to get. So looking at their fixtures, because they have got some winnable games, especially I'd say, there's 2 Brighton games there, the Burnley game, the Norwich game. The Everton are poor away from home, maybe. Where do you think Tottenham will finish up this season? We're looking at that fixture list.
I look at the fixtures there, and I think they're going to be okay. If they turn up, that is the thing. I expect to beat Everton. I expect, like I said, they may get something against United, but we should see. And Brighton against Tottenham, that's going to be tricky, but I can see that one being a draw. Spurs against West Ham, that could be another draw. Tottenham against Newcastle, I fancy Newcastle to win that game because we've got a good record at Right Hart Lane anyway. And Villa against Tottenham, that's going to be very tough. Very, very tough. I think Villa will be up for that one as well. Tottenham against Brighton, I think they'll just beat Brighton, They'll beat Brentford. They will probably draw against Leicester. They get beat off Liverpool because Liverpool's going for the title as well. And Liverpool's got to play Newcastle as well soon. Tottenham against Burnley. Now, I think Burnley might go there and get something out of that game. Because if they fight relegation, need to win that game. I fancy them beating Tottenham. I really do. I think Spurs are going to be under pressure against Burnley game. And they should be Norwich. For me, they'll not get top 4. But for me personally, I think they're going to finish 6th. I think West Ham will be 7th.
Yeah, I agree with that, John. So, Jack, same with you, my man. So you're looking at them fixtures. As we said, we know Tottenham, they could pull off something stupid and win more games than any of us are expecting here.
Yeah.
But realistically, where do you think they're going to finish? How many points they going to get out of them remaining games? And I'll ask you this as well, Jack. What do you think is the major problem at Tottenham Hotspur at this moment in time?
Start with the latter there, the question, mate. It's the quality of players. I think all of us, when we analyse the Tottenham results, it's like Newcastle in the next couple of years when they do get up to the level. I think when they bring in a better calibre of player, I mean, it's the consistent levels of performances. Conte, we've already said, all of us, his attitude, he's not used to losing, and he was very much ready to walk out the door last week. But it's getting the expectation level of the players as well. Conte, he's probably listening to them in the changing room. And the mentality is a bloody joke. He's been at Inter, he's been at Juve as well. He's been all around the bloody world, even Chelsea winning titles. He knows what it means to win. And having Levy, one of the worst chairmen in the Premier League, Conte would have been bigged up in his interview, said, yeah, we'll be getting a lot of money to spend. And he's very much had nothing. And I think he was out in his players the last couple of weeks. He just threw them all under the bus, and rightly so, because some of them were bloody joke. And the fact that Harry Kane's still at Tottenham, if you're a player in that dressing room, you're like, why are you still here, mate? The fact that he was so openly with Gary Neville in an interview to the whole world to say, yeah, I want to join City. But looking at those fixtures, as the lads have already alluded to, all those fixtures, like similar to Liverpool and all the teams down the bottom as well, even Newcastle, if they can get a win, and Brentford even, every team within the league in the next couple of weeks or until the end of May, it's going to be massive. It's literally 3-6 points to most of these teams, because you've got the teams vying for fourth, teams vying for the title, and teams vying to stay in the Premier League and that in between the mid-table to solidify their place in the Premier League as well. So it's difficult, mate. I can foresee them. They've got the quality in the final third of the pitch, but defensively as well, as the lads have said, they're at 6 and 7s, really. So I'd agree with what John's said before. I think I can see them finishing 6. Probably higher if you have better players, but Conte, I don't think he'll last, really. I don't know. But yeah, I agree with John. I go 6 for Spurs.
Sweet. So finish off this top 4 debate. So we all going Man United 4th?
Sadly, for me.
Sadly. No, He'll make Rich happy here.
Richie will.
And obviously, hopefully Liverpool don't take advantage of us getting our 4th win in a row at the MTS.
Come on.
Everton were in the same conundrum last week. I bloody triggered a bloody blue shape. I said to him, I bet you're happy you lost, aren't you? He's like, what? How can I be happy? And he went off to the other side of the bloody platform like he was made up at the final when he got beat.
So yeah, United 4th. We're going what? Are we all going West Ham or Arsenal 5th?
West Ham for me.
West Ham. Jack?
I'd go Wolves.
You going Wolves?
I know.
See, I haven't brought up Wolves in this top just because.
I'm jumped the gun, have I? Sorry, lad.
Just because they've lost a few points recently, and I just think they might be a little bit out of it. But you can say Wolves if you want. That's no problem.
Yeah, I'd go Wolves for me personally.
Wolves. Yeah. Arsenal. Where are we thinking, guys?
It's
got to be 5th.
I was going to say, I'll go to Arsenal 5th, Wolves 6th. No, I'll say Man U 4th, Arsenal 5th, West Ham 6th. No, Spurs 6th. West Ham's on Wolves here because Wolves lost the last couple of games.
Everyone agree with that? Sort of that position?
I think Arsenal finish 6th, me personally, and 7th Spurs.
I've gone United 4th, West Ham 5th, Arsenal 6th, Wolves 7th, and Spurs 8th.
Spurs 8th. I can see it as well.
Conte's definitely left there, hasn't he?
1,000%.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've all gone for Man United finishing 4th, which is a little upsetting.
Liverpool in the league.
But they're going to be 4th place, 20 odd points behind Liverpool winning the league. So, it's not really a problem, is it? So let's talk about relegation, guys. Relegation.
Oh, I can't wait for this, Jay. Where all the Everton fans switch off now.
We got our friend.
Tom's still in the chat, don't worry.
We got our friend Tom in the chat, obviously. He might have legged it now, but we got Tom in the chat, a big Everton fan. And we got John here, massive Newcastle fan. So I'm just going to get the Premier League table up. And then we can talk about this relegation battle.
Game of the season, Jack.
Do it, mate.
Arsenal versus Everton, last game of the season.
I'll be outside the
Oh.
ground.
So here's the league table as it stands, lads. So I think, do we all agree Watford and Norwich are probably gone?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Do now.
there's a space left, and there's a few teams for me
Brentford
who
for me,
can
mate.
get this.
Brentford
Please
for
go
me.
Brentford.
Yeah.
Brentford are in. I mean, look at their form as well. Look at
Terrible.
I'm going to go John at the moment and big his team up because he's.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Let's
goalie
give
form.
John
I
a
know.
bit of. Let's put the shine on John here. Look at your team, John. 14th in the league. Look at the form table.
Yeah, I know all
For me, you're way out of it now. You're absolutely fine.
7 games unbeaten, and we're second in the form league. We haven't seen one goal since we got beat off Liverpool. Unbeaten this year, not seen more than one goal this year, which I think is fantastic. Tells us that the defense is defending properly. We consider 41 goals,
Go on, John.
which
Go
is
for it.
which is absolutely amazing, like. And no, it's just been fantastic. Eddie Howe's done a brilliant job there, and let's hope he continues. But what he's done, we fixed the defense, and we haven't conceded that many goals, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I agree,
Long may
mate.
it continue.
You have been since Eddie Howe's come in. He's starting to play that football. You got play. I've always said it. Newcastle got players in their squad who are better than what they showed under Rafa and Steve Bruce for me. And I think I've always said it. Them kind of managers are now. They're not what football is about these days. And Eddie Howe, for me, is getting his team playing. Connor, I don't know what you think, but I think Eddie Howe's doing a pretty decent job at Newcastle so far.
Yeah, well, the form table proves that. Once he's got going, I think. Look, the one question mark about the Eddie Howe, going to Newcastle situation was how was he going to stop the goals? Because as we've seen at Bournemouth, they were leaking goals left, right, and centre. I think but just judging off Liverpool and Bournemouth, I think the average goals for about 3 years was like Liverpool would score 4 goals against Bournemouth. But I think Newcastle have way better players than what Bournemouth did have, and the fact that the money's there now, the back-end's there. If they did need it, and look, the window in January, it was a perfect window for them. I think it ticked off everything that what they did need at the time, and as is proven, if Eddie Howe is back, he can deliver for them. And for me, I think they're safe. I think it is literally between Brentford, Leeds, and Ev to go down.
Yeah, and that Steve, Brentford was your shout, my man.
Yeah, as much as I'd love to see Everton go down, but that would be quite funny. But I think Everton will stay because it's a guaranteed 6 points each season as well, isn't it? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what fixtures are like for each team. Obviously, from like Burnley, Everton, Leeds, Brentford. But for me, you look at that. Brentford lost 4 of the last 5. Leeds lost 4 of the last 5. Everton lost 4 of the last 5. It's going to go down to potentially could even go down to goal difference. And if you look at it, obviously Leeds minus 31, Brentford and Newcastle minus 17, Everton minus 13. It could potentially go down to goal difference, but Newcastle will be fine.
Yeah, Newcastle fine.
Newcastle will be fine. I think Brentford just haven't got the experience, obviously, of the Premier League. I think they will struggle. Great start of the season, but now they just can't seem to buy a win, and you just don't know when they're going to get the next victory. And I think they played Norwich away, which will be a massive game. If Norwich win that, they'll be 4 points behind with a game in hand. So.
Yeah,
it's worrying times for Brentford, Leeds and Everton as well. I mean, Everton have got 3 games in hand on Brentford and 1 Newcastle.
All right, this is Brentford's fixtures. So Brentford have got obviously Norwich on the weekend.
Yeah.
Then they've got Burnley the following week.
Massive.
Then they're away to Leicester. Then they're away to Chelsea. Home to West Ham, away to Watford, at home to Spurs, away to United, at home to Southampton, and this is their 2 last games of the season, and this is massive. Their 2 last games of the season are Everton and Leeds.
Wow. Jesus.
So right, as Jack's there, and this is just I've got to give Jack Everton, haven't I? So Jack, Everton, my man, go for it. Just
Shite.
chill.
Sorry.
Hey.
Yeah, I'd agree. I'd agree. It's like similar with us. Like games in hand, me absolutely bloody sod all.
Yeah.
You'd much rather have the points on the board.
Definitely.
But I'd agree with what Steve said there. Brentford, you just rattle through all the fixtures. I'd go either Brentford or Leeds. I'd love it. I'd go. Was it? Was it Keegan? Full Keegan. I'd love it if you went down. But sadly you won't because you got enough quality within the squad. But it's between Leeds. I don't know how you feel, lads, and everyone in chat as well. I think all of us have watched Leeds. If it's been a match of the day or when they've been on telly. They can't defend. Even with the new manager, it's crazy. I know Bielsa was a bloody couldn't even bloody
He was a lunatic.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd go with Brentford or Leeds, sadly, mate.
Well, Everton's final 4 fixtures might change your mind. Everton have got Chelsea, Leicester, Arsenal, and Brentford in their last 4. That's Everton's last 4 games of the season. And sorry, if you go 5, their last 5 games of the season is Liverpool, Chelsea in a row, then Leicester, then Brentford, and then Arsenal. That is That's Everton's last 5 games.
They'll bring out we stopped Liverpool winning the league trophy, innit?
There you go.
That would be wow. There you go. Caught to the act,
eh? Games here. But Leeds, as Jack says, Leeds are the team that are just free fall at this moment in time. I mean, look at they've conceded 60 goals.
Yeah,
I mean, and scored 29. It's with their new manager, Steve. I'll go to you. With their new manager, do you give Leeds any chance at all?
Well, I mean, Jesse March, he's not managing the Premier League before. He's a similar type of manager to Bielsa, so I don't think anyone, even Klopp, could work miracles on this Leeds defence. I think they're just so open. And as much as Klopp's world class, there's only so much he can do. I mean, he's not like a Harry Potter where he can just wave a wand and just cast a spell and just put them further up the table. It's not going to happen, is it? So Leeds are in massive trouble. There's 12 games left to go, and Aleppo doesn't change its spot, as they say. So I think just Leeds give you 5 or 6 chances each game. Doesn't matter who they're playing against. They give you so many chances to score goals, and just bringing up I don't think they'll get anything against Leicester tomorrow. I think they'll beat quite comfortably. Villa as well. They'll struggle to beat Villa. Norwich, maybe get something out of that. Wolves will not beat. Southampton will not beat. Watford, potentially, yes. They'll get beat off Chelsea, Palace, Man City, Arsenal, probably Brighton, and they may just beat Brentford in the last game of the season. But will that be enough? I really do. Looking at them fixtures now, it's still between Leeds and Brentford for me. But I just think Brentford Premier League experience lacking. I think they'll go down.
Connor, them fixtures there, new manager.
The more and more I look at it, the more and more I think Leeds going to go down. But then to be fair, I look at Brentford, I look at the Everton, I look at Burnley. Burnley, I know Burnley are there in the relegation form. I just think they're going to survive.
That's why I've not mentioned Burnley because I think the ugly ones always win, don't they? And
they classically do it though. It's classic Burnley. They just when you think you're about to get rid of them, they just come back up. But I think for me, I think the Ev could go down But then I just think that I know Frank Lampard, and apparently they're playing more attacking football. But I watched the FA Cup game yesterday, and Jesus Christ, they struggled.
Terrible.
But again, Leeds, Jesse, you needed a well-experienced manager to come in this situation. Yes, you could have Jesse March in the summer, and you can go again the way you was, but you need someone in now that can save you practically. And Bielsa was too arrogant to change things.
Yeah.
And look, all managers have arrogance. Pep has it, Jurgen has it. There's plenty of managers out there that have arrogance, but you have to admit to yourself when it's not working. And Bielsa wasn't doing that, and this is why I think Leeds are in the position they are in. Will Marsh do anything defensively? I don't think so. On that, so if Watford got their act together and was it Hodgson, they could do something, but then I don't see it. So it is just a race, I think, between Leeds and Everton on who's going to go down.
Yeah.
If you look at Watford and Burnley, if they both win against Arsenal and Chelsea, then they're on the same amount of points as Everton, aren't they? Going into that game on Monday night, so you just never know. I don't see it happening personally myself. I think both Watford and Burnley will get beat, but it would be quite funny if both Watford and Burnley were to win. Just so obviously Everton getting the bottom three going into Monday night's game.
Yeah, great. And John, obviously your team, they're on a roll now. I don't think they're going to get pulled into it. They got your squaddies are better than the rest of them down there for me.
Sure.
Looking at them Leeds fixtures, are you worried about Leeds? If you was a Leeds fan, would you be seriously worried right now?
I would 100% because they lost conceded 20 goals and the defense has been a massive problem. I felt sorry for Bielsa because he's done a fantastic job getting Leeds back in the Premier League after 16 seasons, but conceding goals, 20 goals is not good enough, and they had to make a change. Unfortunately for Bielsa, they should have given to the end of the season, but given the circumstances, I just think they had to let him go now before it gets worse. But look at those fixtures, I could see Leeds winning 4 games. I really can. And that is possibly a home, possibly beat Watford away, maybe. That's not a gimme. I think they'll beat Brighton at home. That's going to be tough, by the way. I expect to beat Norwich at home. And that's 3. And I think they'll find a way against Brentford. I really do.
Yeah.
And those are the 4 games I think personally are going to win the games. That is it. But 3 or 4 more games, I think Newcastle need to win 3 more games and we'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll win them. No problem, John. No problem. Jack, so obviously we're having a laugh a bit about Everton because it's funny and we should have a laugh. But looking at I said there are 5 fixtures there. And looking at Leeds now, obviously Leeds are in free fall. Brentford are in free fall as well. I do see, like John says, I see myself Leeds winning more games than Brentford the rest of the season. But that last game of the season, man, what do you think, my man? What do you think?
I know a joke about it, but we've seen Leeds. They were in Champions League semi-finals and everything. No club is ever too big to go down. I'll just say that. And if you've got the quality, Everton, and a lot of teams down the bottom have got quality, but quality buys you naff all if you're just playing poorly. And obviously Calvert-Lewin's just come back from injury. I think he'll be massive for Everton if you can get him scoring, especially with Bamford for Leeds. Goals, especially if you are down the bottom table, obviously it's massive. If you can get a goal scorer within your team, even if you are conceding, but if you score, then that's a massive factor. And it wouldn't surprise me, and I know we've already said Watford will probably go down, but the experience in which Roy has got in terms of his managerial, I think that unless it's his last bloody hurrah, the man's about 1 million years old. So Lord bloody Voldemort also just keeps on coming back, mate. Just retire, will you, Roy? But Everton did an absolute 6 and 7s as Conor said before, the midweek against a load of plumbers, you were struggling. So I'm concerned for Everton, but at the end of the day, no club's ever too big to go down. And I know Tom's confidence, and a lot of the Everton fans are. Rightly so, you got a lot of quality, but just it's difficult when you're in a difficult run. Remember us getting whacked? Was it like 6 home defeats on the bounce?
Yeah.
I know half of our players were bladdered after winning the league. But regardless of that, when you're in that habit of losing, it's difficult to break out the mold.
Yeah, totally. So to finish off this relegation chat, I think we can all agree Watford and Norwich are gone, yeah?
Yeah.
We all can all. So for me, I am going Brentford as the next team. That's my 3 to go down. Connor?
Everton.
Everton, Steve?
As much as I'd love to see Everton, I just can't see any way that Brentford stay up for me.
Brentford. John?
I think Everton and Leeds are going to be very lucky to start the season. Very, very lucky for me. And I hate to see it. As much as I love Thomas Frank and what he's done for Brentford, getting them back up for the first time in 74 years, I think that Brentford stay in the Premier League is going to be a short one. So I've decided Brentford, they're the ones going to go.
Brentford. And Jack?
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to go the Ev. Down.
Hang on, Jack. Again.
You can go with. You can be in the Championship with Sunderland. Oh no, they're in League One, John. So yeah, you get double relegation up the Reds.
Hey, yeah.
Oh no, Connor's on the back.
Oh dear.
I don't think you'll care. I don't think you'll care.
Tom, quadruple and Everton get relegated is the best thing that could happen this season.
Oh, that's brilliant. So let's go finish up on this now with just the last bit, and that is the title chase. City, Liverpool. I'm going to just get the league table up. It's nice to look at, from our point of view.
Yeah.
So this is the top of the league right now. Liverpool obviously have got a game in hand. City 6 points clear at this moment in time. It's gonna be tight. Our form guide there, is great. Our form at the moment is fantastic. We've scored 70 goals, exceeded 20. And everyone talks about our defence. It's one thing I will say. Everyone talks about our defence, but the way we play with a high line and you basically play one-on-one defending. To only concede 20 goals is excellent for me.
Yeah.
Defending that way. Man City, Liverpool, Connor, going for the rest of the season. You can see the league there. What's your feeling?
I'm feeling confident. Don't think any of the Liverpool fans shouldn't be confident. Look, we are coming up against a brilliant team in Manchester City, brilliant manager. But again, I don't think people realised Liverpool would be here again at the start of the season. All those pundits that had Liverpool in fourth and third, I absolutely love seeing their faces now where they realise Liverpool are, back fighting for a league title. And look, the fact that, we've just come back, from the season we had last year as well, to be where we are is tremendous. And the fact that, like you said, mate, the fact we've conceded 20 goals, and the way we play it, for me, I think we play the most attractive football in the league out of everyone. Chelsea, I think they're the most boring team, top team anyway in the world. City, look, don't get me wrong, Pep has his, brilliant tactics and things like that, but, they can fix problems that they have in a transfer window. They can go out and buy, and waste £70 million on a left back and a right back. And we can't do that. But when we do brilliant transfers like Luis Diaz, he seems to be one hell of a player. And I think he's going to be the key for Liverpool, especially against, City. I think that the fact that we could, practically use the normal front three and him like we did, I think, what was it, last season when we played 4-2-4 against them?
Yeah.
I think we can definitely do that against them again. And look, for me, I don't think City have played well. in recent weeks. They've not been themselves. And I think they realise the pressure is on them now, that Liverpool are breathing down their necks. And I think Liverpool are going to do it. I do genuinely think Liverpool will win the league.
Yeah, this is what I like to hear,
Mm.
Steve.
Yeah, I mean,
kind of there. He believes it. You know, we have that game now and be 3 points. Keep that 3-point game until we play them in April. You know, it's going to be tight. It's going to be close. But what's your feelings, my man?
yeah, I mean, how can you not be confident just winning the first trophy of the season? Hopefully, a lot more to come. So we're going to comfortably get through, I think, against Inter Milan. They didn't even have any shots on target at home. Supposed to be the best team in the Italian league at the moment. If that's the case, obviously the Italian league's not really up to much. Win our game in hand, which is against Arsenal. I fancy us to do that. I think Man City will slip up this coming Sunday against Man United. Man United have won the last 2 games at the Etihad as well. So if Manchester City lose that game, which I think they potentially could lose that, Liverpool beat West Ham and then beat Arsenal. And I believe the gap would be equal points. Then we'd both be on 66 points with the same amount of games played, but we would be in first position, obviously with a better goal scored. The thing for me, obviously, is that draw column. We've obviously drawn twice as much as what Manchester City have. And it was the likes of the draws against Brentford when we're winning both 2-1 and 3-2, conceding quite late on. Brighton 2-0 up at home, and obviously lucky in the end to get a point off Brighton at home. Second half performance was woeful, but apart from that, I mean, you go off consistency, winning mentality, and results. It's a results business, and keep on winning, which is what we're doing at the minute. It breathes confidence, and I think the momentum is well and truly in our favour. And I think why not, and why we can't maybe even do this quadruple. It's on. Why not? No one wants to play Liverpool right now. No one. We're the most feared team, not only in the Premier League but in Europe. No one wants to play against us at the minute. I just think we've got the momentum to do it, and I fully believe that, especially if we win our game in hand. Sorry, if we beat West Ham tomorrow, close the gap to 3, it puts the pressure. I've said it numerous times now. When the team that's playing first puts that pressure on the Manchester City. You've seen it last time against Spurs at the Etihad. They couldn't do it. They bottled it. And I fancy if we get the result tomorrow against West Ham, I do see Manchester City dropping more points on Sunday against Manchester United.
Great. I totally agree there, Steve. John, you're the neutral here. You are the neutral. So I'm going to give it over to you. Go for it, my man.
Okay. I think it's going to go way to the wire. It's going to go all the way. I think it's going to come to the last game, in my opinion. And if you look at Man City, they did have a good start in the Premier. But listen, slow starters always find a way. Always find a way. That's why they won 21 games. And Liverpool are just on fire. Look at the form. Won the last 5 games. And they got Mo Salah back and Salah Mane back. They're defending well. The midfield's playing well. I mean, Joe Jota is on fire. This guy is fantastic. He really is. I cannot lie. We'll see in that. It's going to come to goal difference ain't going to be a thing, I don't think, because if you look at that, they both score goals for fun. I don't know the fixtures they got left, but Newcastle's got a major game because we got to play. The last 3 games we play Man City away, Liverpool at home, and that's and then we've got to go to Burnley away. But we have got a major say who wins the title. But I'm not sure we're going to beat Man City or Liverpool, to be fair. I can't lie. But if we go there and we're safe, it's going to be a free hit. It's going to be like free hit Newcastle. Do you know what I mean? But who's going to win it? I'm going to put my neck out and I'm going to say just Liverpool. And that's because I think they beat them at Etihad. And if they go above Man City, then the pressure going to be on Man City. And I think Liverpool's going to go all the way.
Well done, John. John, you can come back anytime. Well done, my man. Well done. So, Jack, I'll get to you now. Right. So, as Steve said there as well, we're playing before them again. I think this weekend as well. Played them for them last for the Man City Tottenham game. And do you feel City are starting to feel the pressure of Liverpool now?
Yeah, 100% agree. And get in, John. That we made up, especially. It's difficult. Whoever wins the title, and we've seen over the last couple of years, and well, since everyone whoever wins the league title, they deserve it over the 38 game calendar season. But it's, as I said before, all the teams in and around top four, and everyone's in that. And I know everyone goes, we were laughing about the Everton game. They needed a massive 3 points. That's why it was such an uproar, and rightly so, about the penalty decision as well. And in terms of United, they need 3 points, regardless of what it has implications to Liverpool in terms of a title bid. United need 3 points for their top four shout as well. So it's going to be intriguing. But I think psychologically, we've all played footy as a kid, or psychologically, we all know, we've seen our teams in the past. It's easier to be the chasing pack. And what that'd mean if Liverpool did somehow leapfrog Manchester City, what that would mean psychologically. We've seen Pep Guardiola in videos over the last couple of seasons. He's petrified of Liverpool because he knows how good we are. And it's not being arrogant. It's just what we've done in the past. I think if Liverpool had a sniff or even the opportunity, they won't publicly say to players. And Jurgen Klopp is the expert of just batting away questions. He'll protect the players. But if we got a sniff and we leapfrogged them, and if we went to Man City's grounds, the Etihad, which we have done in the past in the Champions League, and beat them, then, and even then, if City are chasing, like, say, 1 point behind, and if Liverpool keep on winning, they'll bottle it. They could be 6-8 points behind Liverpool with 10 games to go. But my heart's saying Liverpool, but of course it would. But whoever wins the league, it's just mad how City and Liverpool the last 5 years have took the Premier League onto mad levels. In fact, that was all about teams getting 95, 100 points. It's scary. It's bloody bonkers.
It's mad. And you can see the fixtures there. I mean, the thing with Liverpool and Man City, they're going to have probably a lot of Champions League games mixed into all these games as well. Yeah. City, that's the holy grail for them. I know City fans say it isn't, but that's because they've not won one yet. Once they win one, they will know how we all feel with the Champions League. I know they don't like UEFA and everything, but I think that's all bull. I mean, the holy grail for them is the Champions League. They're already through to the quarterfinal. I mean, they've smashed Sporting 5-0.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the further City go in the Champions League, it benefits Liverpool in the league?
Yes, for me, mate. Because I think we're capable of balancing, and especially with Diaz, as everyone's alluded to. I'd say mate. Yeah, personally.
Yeah, I'd say yes.
I agree.
I think City's already there.
Yeah. I think City. Yeah, I think City just, as I say, it's the holy grail for him. Pep wants that trophy, and Liverpool, as he says, Liverpool don't go away, and he's sick and tired of us. We just don't go away. He had a 13-point gap, not too long ago, and that could be possibly cut down to 3 points. It's absolutely, it's crazy what these two teams produce on a weekly basis. But you can see the fixtures there. I think Liverpool have the harder running. I'll get to the City fixtures in a minute. They have the harder running, but I don't see the form Liverpool in at the moment. I don't see too many slip-ups there. I think it's just the City game for me. Don't know what you guys feel. Having a look at that fixture list there.
Oh, well, it's even the City game. What a fairy tale. Imagine that on the bloody Liverpool DVD of a Champions League, a championship winning team. it pans to the is it the Etihad last game of the season? Steven Gerrard going to Manchester City's ground. Oh, bloody hell. You might have slipped and lost us the lead, but Christ, you might make City slip at the last hurdle as well. So it's written in the stars.
Karma does come round. It does come round. I'll just quickly show you the City fixtures because I do think we have the harder running, but I just think the form we're in at the moment, and it's the same with City. You can see both teams winning all their games, and it comes down to their 2 games. It's gotta be mad. I mean, here we see City's
West Ham as well, mate. If they're going for top 4, as we said.
Obviously, they got the Manchester derby this weekend.
Alistair won't be easy either.
No.
For me, it's the Wolves game. I don't know if you've seen the Wolves game that they played at the Etihad. They were bloody robbed.
Yeah.
The way,
I think there's that potential as well. Like if we draw City in the Champions League and we both go through in the FA Cup, we get City. I think we can play City 4 times in a week.
Yeah. It could be nuts. It's like that Chelsea season in 2005, where we played Chelsea every week for about a month. So we're all going Liverpool. Hand on hearts, guys.
Yeah.
Hand on hearts. Liverpool to win the league, and we're going Man United 4th, and we're all looking at Brentford to get relegated. Jack's got a.
It's all right, mate. I've got United missing. Us winning the league. United missing out on top 4, and they have got relegated. I tell you wouldn't see me for about 20 years, mate.
If we won the league and Everton went down in that same season, and Man United didn't manage to get in top 4, is that the greatest ever Liverpool season?
It would be,
1,000%, yeah.
And it could still happen. Listen, guys, you've been amazing today. Thanks for coming in. I've never hosted the show before, so I hope I did all right.
No, really well, mate.
Done well.
I appreciate all of you giving up your time on a Friday night, especially you, John. I know you're up early. I mean, there a point you going to sleep?
Yeah.
Might as well be now, John, and get straight up to Newcastle now.
I really do appreciate it. Connor,
Those?
shout out your socials, my man.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on, mate. And the Cup Council, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, all that good stuff. And hopefully, that's Bath West Ham tomorrow. I'm hoping for the confidence to keep growing, and fingers crossed, City can bottle Sunday as well. But thank you for having me on, mate.
No problem, Steve, my man. My right hand man, Steve, usually does the watch-alongs with me. Won't be available this weekend because it is his son's birthday, and a big happy birthday to your son, mate. My man. Shout out your socials, my man.
Yeah, so Twitter at StephenStubbs985 and YouTube Statman Stubbs Football Channel. I think I'm about 9 or 10 away from 200, so it'd be nice to get there as soon as possible. But just as always, thanks for having me on. It's always good to come on, and obviously, great panel as well. Really enjoyed tonight.
Thank you, my man. Jack, thanks for coming in, my man. Thanks for coming in.
Apologies, it was late, mate. Really do appreciate you having me on, and it was great to speak to John for the first time, and of course Connor and Steve, every single one of you. And hopefully you all have a lovely weekend, as long as our teams win. We'll look after yourselves, and cheers, Jake, for having me on. Really do appreciate it.
No worries. And John, thank you for coming on, fella. Really do appreciate that, especially with what you got planned tomorrow. But shout out your socials, fella. Let everyone know where they can find you.
Yeah, okay. We go on Twitter, it's John_NEFC42. And if you go on Insta, John Sinclair 50. Facebook, John Sinclair. And YouTube, it's John Sinclair TV. I'm now 3 more away from 2,200 subscribers.
Wow.
Sweet. Thank you guys very much, guys. All their links will be in the description, so go and check them out, guys. Sub to them all. Get Steve up to 200. Just get Steve up to 200 subs, nice and quick. Let's all do that. Everyone in chat, everyone watching this tonight, tomorrow, next week, whenever, go and sub to his channel and to all the other guys here. They've all been fantastic, guys. I'm Jamie Phillips. Thank you for everyone tuning in tonight. Peace out. You'll never walk alone.